Hi, this is Amos Tarfa, just doing a quick video about the math curriculum at LifeSTEM Academy and the math plan. I'm on the road here in Bismarck, North Dakota with the family, and I just thought I'll quickly record a video in the hotel conference room. So sorry if the lighting is not the greatest, but I think it's a great room here, so I really like this type of setup. So this is the K-12 education in America, okay? Now imagine if you could, for a second, take 3 months, every 3 months here is the summer, and you harvested maybe 30 minutes a day of math. Do you know that you literally could save yourself 4 years of math in your K-12 education? You might wonder, or someone might ask, why would you want to save yourself 4 years of wasting time? Well, that's 4 years that you can use to do other things, like figure out your direction in life, like serve your community. We have an education system, unfortunately, in this nation that has a lot of time wasting happening. What at LifeSTEM Academy, part of our, you see in our motto, it says redeeming the time, for the days are evil, from Ephesians chapter 5, verse 16. And so here's what I recommend is that when for some of the younger ages here, you're mostly going to be working on your number sense, your arithmetic, and that's fine. So at LifeSTEM Academy for K to 3, we recommend using the Mammoth Math or Math Mammoth program or Singapore Math. That's what we would recommend using in that early phase here. It will solidify the arithmetic skills that you need. So we offer summer camps and programs for all our families. That's just a part of our education program. We don't want students to lose ground in the things that they've learned. And I'll show you a little bit about some of the Math Mammoth books here at the end of this video. And so K3, you focus on your fundamentals, strengthen your addition and subtraction, get into your multiplication, and some people might even play with some division. Of course, work on your clocks, work on your calendars, strengthen the fundamental skills there, okay? So that's what you need for the K3 space. For 4 to 12, so at LifeSTEM Academy, we actually split it like that. So basically there's a K3 sort of section of the school, and then there's a 4-12 section. When you get into 4th grade, we definitely want to make sure that your arithmetic is solid. We want to make sure that we can introduce you into fractions, not with letters, but I'm just giving you an example. So fraction addition, get you comfortable with finding lowest common multiple, greatest common factor. You're doing a lot of prime factorization. So that happens in 4th grade. From 4th to 6th grade, this is what your sequence could look like. You do your Mammoth Math if you want. At the end of the 4th grade, if you finish and you do well, go ahead and start the 5th grade one here. And notice that you'll finish the 5th grade one before the end of 5th grade, and you can start the 6th grade one. And then you go ahead and you work through that, you finish that. By the time you get into 6th grade, you're doing the 7th grade one. So for sure, we should see you moving more. If you want to stick with a good plan, you should be in pre-algebra for sure by 6th grade. So we have a pre-algebra course which is available right now actually for anyone for $19.95. The whole course is actually available for that price this summer. So you can take advantage of that program if you want it. The link is in the description. Anyway, so that's $19.95, this pre-algebra course. If you're a LifeSTEM Academy student, of course, you get all your math resources covered this year. So that's what happens here. And then you go into 7th grade. Of course, you can get into some of the more Algebra 1, Algebra 2 material. And we go at your pace, right? If you need more time with polynomials and rational expressions, that's fine. But go ahead and you can work on that with Algebra 1 and Algebra 2. So you go into Algebra 1, Algebra 2 in 7th grade. That means that you can do geometry, trig, and pre-calc in 8th grade. Now notice that you can CLEP college algebra in 7th grade, 8th grade, by the way. So we prepare our students to get college credit. So you can get college credit for this class, and you can get college credit for that class. So notice that by 8th grade, you already have 6 college credits done. Now in 9th grade, we want to see you doing calculus and linear algebra. I've actually decided, this is new, fresh off the press, I've decided that students should actually do linear algebra earlier in the sequence. Many universities would teach it as Calc 1, Calc 2, Calc 3, differential equations, and linear algebra. After listening to the MIT professor who's retiring, or who just retired after teaching for like 60 years, after listening to part of a podcast today, I think that it's best to do linear algebra earlier in the sequence. So let's bring that up and do it at the same time as Calc 1. So basically, you'll be doing 2 math classes in 9th grade. And then in 10th grade, actually, for statistics, you could do that as a summer course. So that's what you could do here is your statistics. Again, I'll do a more detailed video on this analysis. I just wanted to give you an idea of the big picture. So basically, you do a lot of arithmetic and solidify your skills here in number sense. You do more, solidify your arithmetic here, prime factorization, lowest common multiple, greatest common factor, and then move right into pre-algebra here by 6th grade. Again, we're going at your pace though. If you need more time, If you need more time to do arithmetic in 6th grade, that's fine. But this is what's possible if you decide that you don't need 3 months off from doing school. So you do pre-algebra in 6th grade, you do algebra 1, algebra 2 in 7th grade, you could CLEP it there, you do trig geometry and pre-calc in 8th grade, you do calculus 1 and linear algebra in 9th grade, you do statistics over the break here. 10th grade you could do calculus 2 and calculus 3. 11th grade you can do differential equations. And notice that at this point, this is part of what we're trying to do. In 11th and 12th grade, your focus is now, what am I going to do with my life? What are the job shadowing opportunities? Where are the internships I can take? That's what you're doing with your 11th and 12th grade. You've done your academic work. It's kind of like a PhD student. They do their academic work in the first 2 years of their PhD, and then they do research for 3 years, or depending on the field. Some fields you could be doing a PhD for 10 years, in some fields, in some conditions, in mathematics and so on. But I would recommend that you do your coursework and be done by 10th or 11th grade at the latest. And then you can ask yourself, am I interested in engineering, computer science, physics, chemistry? All of these will flow right into these fields. Pre-med, biochemistry, maybe it's fields outside of that. Maybe you want to be a social studies teacher. Whatever it is, why don't you spend time in 11th and 12th grade figuring that out while you get mentoring and coaching? Let some apprenticeship happen. Let me give you a practical example as I land with this. So basically, imagine if you want to be an elementary school teacher. What we would do is, if Lifestem Academy is a good fit for you to do your internship, you can be doing online classes for elementary education, and you could be teaching and job shadowing a teacher at Lifestem Academy. You get hands-on training. There's nothing that beats hands-on training. And so that's why I think it's important that we start thinking about how can we use an apprenticeship model in conjunction with didactic work that is done for a subject. Okay, so this is the overview of Lifestem Academy's math. When you graduate from our school, at least have 15 credits of math, like something to that effect, that you can carry over into any college, into any major. 15 credits is a decent number. Technically, you could honestly get up to 21 credits. Now, that takes a little more work. That gets into some real analysis and complex analysis and linear and abstract algebra or abstract math. That's a different league. So if you want to be a mathematician, Lifestem Academy is the place for you, because we will give you a lot of math. But let's say you don't want to be a mathematician. You just want to enjoy the math process. Maybe you're not even there. You just want to graduate and say you did all the math you needed to do. You just want to get by. Well, I would highly encourage you to read more math history. The more math history you read, the more likely, the higher the chance that your attitude to learning math will change for the better. And when your attitude changes for the better, then you apply yourself more, and then you start becoming better at the thing. So it starts with that attitude change that happens when you spend time with learning the history, the application, the point, the purpose. Why am I learning this? We really need to teach our students more of that, and Lifestem Academy does that. So let me show you an overview of some of our math books. I'll just grab the camera, show you some of the math books, and then if you have any questions about math education in general, let me know. I'm a STEM education sort of consultant, but more specifically, I do math curriculum design and math curriculum. I love making customized math programs for people because I want everyone to love math, because math is beautiful. So let's look at some of the books here. So I'm just gonna turn the camera. So you notice that we have the Mammoth Math. It's customized to Lifestem Academy. You can see our logo on there. But basically you have the 1A, 1B, you have the 2A, 2B, and you have the 3A, 3B. So you can see the specific topics the kids will be learning in each of those books. And then we come down to the 4A, 4B, and 5A, 5B. You're working on problem solving, decimals, fractions, adding, subtracting again. You'll see that there's an overlap, a lot of overlap in some of these grade levels. Now notice that in 6A, 6B, you're doing basic operations, expressions and equations, but expressions and equations is also discussed in Algebra 1 at the beginning. So notice there's a lot of review in our curriculum in America. So if you master these principles, notice 6B, you're reviewing factoring, fractions, integers, you'll be just fine if you master those principles. And then we come over here, we have 7A and 7B, which is a pre-algebra course basically, but some of that is Algebra 1. So honestly, we should just get you into algebra at that point rather than reviewing. This is just a math skills booklet that I have that people can use to review over the summer. This book here, Mastering Mathematics, Perfecting the Point, it's a method of teaching that involves focusing on a concept specifically, and this one is on decimals. So the Mammoth Math sequence also has that type of approach where we can take, let's say your decimals are weak but you're strong with fractions. Well, let's spend a summer going over decimals to strengthen your decimals, right? And after you do a program like that, which we have access to with Math Mammoth, you can flow right into the pre-algebra program, which we have videos that go with each of the lessons in pre-algebra. But you notice that pre-algebra goes over stuff that is back here in 7A and 7B. So again, we're going to just have to build the American math curriculum from scratch in a manner that makes sense, removing the summer and just making it more efficient. Now, here's the other thing that we'll do to make it more exciting. We should teach students the history of mathematics, the world of mathematics. All our students get access to these books on the history of mathematics. One of my favorite books before I wrap up here is this one right here, which is called Elements of Algebra by Leonhard Euler. Leonhard Euler is probably one of the greatest. He is the most prolific mathematician in the history of mathematicians. And he wrote a book called Elements of Algebra where he breaks down mathematics like nobody's business. He does it very well. So when our students finish pre-algebra, they flow into our algebra sequence, which is over there. We have beginning and intermediate algebra. And then we have these booklets for geometry and trig, where you basically, and pre-calc, where you have a specific topic, where you focus on that topic, and then you get good at it, take the CLEP test, and you'll be just fine. And lastly, this is the front cover of our book, Tools for Mastering Mathematics. Basically, it gives you strategies to be a great mathematician. So please make sure you download a copy of that. Email me if you want one. So that's our math program. Basically following the order I showed you on the board. I just have one more thing here for fun that I'll show you and then I'll be done. So this is a pre-calculus textbook which we use for our course. And then this is my periodic table that I brought on the trip. You just never know when you're gonna need a periodic table. So that's why we have that here. I just thought it'd be cool to always have a periodic table. What if your phone dies? Okay, with that said, we're gonna go back to the board and I'm gonna wrap up on the board. And so basically we have this sequence of mathematics. I've shown you the materials that we're using, and I will highly recommend that you do not take 3 months off in the summer, but that you dedicate, even if it's 30 minutes a day, so 2.5 hours a week in the summer. And by doing that, you will save yourself not only a lot of money, because you wouldn't have to waste time retaking courses that you've forgotten, but you save yourself a lot of time, and time is expensive. You can talk about, oh, I wasted money on this, and that, but what about time? If you waste that time, you never get it back again. So please, let's be wise with how we use our time. Let's be careful with our attitude to learning. Let's change our mindset where necessary. Let's apply ourselves to excellence with deliberate practice, which we'll talk about this summer. You hear me talk about that over and over again. With deliberate practice and having a coach and having a plan of action, you can flourish in mighty ways in mathematics, and you can use that gift and that ability to be a blessing to others. Thank you for watching this video. Please feel free to subscribe to our channel where I'll be putting videos about education, strategies, and things like that. And let me know if you have questions about LifeSTEM Academy. We have online classes, we have in-person classes, hybrid classes, 5-day. We have a 5-day school now starting in Moorhead, Minnesota. And then, keep us in your prayers too. We are actually going to go ahead and help the Grand Forks school launch. And then there's a few more sites that are in sight that we're thinking about. We're going to have a teacher training institute where we train teachers, and then these teachers can go back to their communities and start hybrid programs. And basically, I want every student in every community to have access to quality instruction for mathematics and science all across America and all around the world. We will do our best to do what we can for that. So stay tuned to hear more about our Ghana plans and our Nigeria plans that we're partnering with people there. And then, of course, Moorhead, Grand Forks, Fargo, Scottsdale, Arizona, and Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Stay tuned, and God bless.